For Daniel Moore, the innocent twin still shackled by chains of suspicion. The letter was both hope and despair. On one hand, it proved David was alive and mocking the justice system. On the other, it was a reminder of how powerless Daniel was, rotting in a cell while his brother roamed free, pulling strings like a puppeteer. In jail, Daniel clutched the photo from the anonymous letter until the edges curled. David's smirk in that picture was not just arrogance. It was a challenge. The criminal brother had turned Daniel's life into a stage play, and every scene ended with Daniel as the fool. Meanwhile, the prosecution doubled down. They dismissed the letter as a cruel prank, sent by someone who wanted to sow doubt. To them, Daniel was still the robber, the man behind the mask, the one whose fingerprints matched evidence. The jury remained torn, but the trial wasn't over. And then, as if on cue, another robbery struck Chicago. Same method, same mask, same chilling signature. A cryptic note left behind, this one scrawled across the walls of a pawn shop. You got the wrong man, but thanks for keeping my seat warm, brother. The news hit the courtroom like a bomb. If Daniel was behind bars, how could the crime spree continue? Detectives scrambled, journalists swarmed, and public outrage grew. For Daniel, it was bittersweet. The robbery proved his innocence, but also revealed how far David was willing to go. David wasn't just a criminal now. He was performing. Each heist was a message, each note a taunt, not just to law enforcement, but to Daniel himself. Back in his cell, Daniel's mind unraveled. He replayed his childhood with David, the days when they were inseparable, two sides of the same coin. He remembered how David used to joke, "No one will ever tell us apart. We're unstoppable." Now that bond had become his prison. Daniel was no longer just fighting for freedom. He was fighting against the ghost of a brother who knew every weakness he had. Just when Daniel's defense team thought the tide had turned in his favor, new evidence emerged, grainy surveillance footage from the pawn shop robbery. The robber's build, his walk, even his slight tilt of the head, looked exactly like Daniel. Whispers spread again. What if David never existed? What if Daniel had created an imaginary twin to escape guilt? The prosecution seized on this theory, painting Daniel as a master manipulator who invented his twin to dodge justice. The jury, once swayed, now leaned back toward doubt. But then, another letter arrived, slipped under the courthouse doors. This one wasn't taunting. It was chilling. It contained a photo of Daniel's defense lawyer walking home at night, and a handwritten note from David. "Prove my brother innocent and you're next." For the first time, the defense team realized this wasn't just about Daniel's freedom. This was about survival. David wasn't just framing his brother. He was threatening anyone who tried to set him free. The courtroom wasn't the battlefield anymore. Chicago itself was. This ends with Daniel, alone in his cell, whispering to himself, "If I don't stop him, no one will."